All right, welcome to the start, actually episode 25, November 24th, 2023 to November 30th, 2023. This week was a really good week. Momentum has picked back up, and I did a couple things different that I think are working really well. So I'm going to continue doing that from here on in. So let's dive in and give you the update, give you the numbers, tell you what I learned, and then we will complete the update. Anyway, Saturday. I set the daily budget on the ads back to $2 for the whole shop because I was trying to just kind of recover that lost momentum that I had when I was running my one whole shop bundle at the maximum. Then I changed the whole shop bundle listing and it lost everything. So I was like, crap, I got to get this back. So I started with, let's go $2 for the whole shop, try that. It was working. Okay. So I added 24 new listings. So total was 2,367 on that day, which is nice. Then Monday, I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep adding listings because all these rumblings people are saying about, oh, you have to constantly be working on your shop. That's the only way that you're going to get Etsy's consistent attention. And I'm like, maybe there's some truth to it. But whenever I read something online or hear something, first thing I do is I go and test it myself just to make sure that it's legit, because I don't really believe everything that I hear or see online. So in this case, I think it is legit. Honestly, the consistent listing thing, it doesn't have to be a big amount, but I think when you're listing consistently, maybe they do like that because I seem to be getting more sales. So anyway, also on Monday, I noticed I was neglecting the 24-hour sale, and that's where your listing shows like sale ends in 11 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours, whatever. That little blurb right above the price on your listing is vital to your conversion rate. When you do the sale, but you put it for like 30 days, it's not nearly as effective as a 24-hour sale. So going forward, the 24-hour sale is my new religion, pretty much. So I went back to that, and it's working. They convert just way better than the monthly sale. And I also said, okay, I'm going to add just, you know what, I'll do 10 new listings. Take me about 10, 15 minutes to do that, no problem. And I did that. So then Tuesday, I said, okay, I like how my ads are recovering, but I want to go bigger. I also don't want to go too big, because when I went too big in the past, Etsy ads went a little bonkers and they lost me some money. I didn't like that. So I figured, what do I do in my other business? Well, I have a budget, and I say my revenue is $100. Then I'll say I'm going to spend 20% of my revenue on ads. So that means I can spend $20 on ads. And at that point, that number kind of makes sense. But then I said, I'm not just going to set it and forget it forever. I'm also going to say, let's base that on the last 7 days performance, and we'll adjust it. Basically, I'm going to adjust it every Monday or Tuesday, I think. I think I'll adjust it every Monday. So I'm going to go into my account. I'm going to look at the stats for the last 7 days. Whatever that revenue number is, I'm going to multiply it by 20%. And then I'm going to go into my Etsy ads, and I'm going to change that budget to that number. So if my revenue is going up, then my budget will go up. If my revenue is going down for the previous 7 days, then my budget will go down. I think sending that signal to Etsy saying, hey, things are going well, so I'm increasing my budget, I think that's a really positive signal to their algorithm. And I mean, nobody knows what their algorithm really is, but we just have to make our best guesses. And I think, well, so far it's worked really well, but I've done it in the past and it has worked. So I don't know why I forgot about it, but anyway, I'm going back to that. I also added 15 listings, 2,391 in there. Then Wednesday, I just kind of left things. All I did was add 10 new listings. Thursday, I woke up and I had a bad review on a product. So usually when you get a bad review, you're like, oh, screw them. They don't know what they're talking about. And I'm going to really give it to them. And do they know how they're wrecking my shop? And then I'm like, okay, let's look at this from another perspective as an opportunity. So instead of me getting ticked off about this, what I did was I fixed it. So I don't know if the 2-star review will go to a 5-star, but my message to the buyer was this. And I just messaged them right inside Etsy. And I said, hey, we noticed you left us a really bad review. Instead of getting mad, we fixed it. So here's the updated product for you. Hopefully we can turn that 2-star into a 5-star. Thanks. Let's see if that works. That was on Thursday. Today is Friday when I'm doing the update. It worked. So the buyer did go in and she messaged me back and um, she said, well, I already did the work, but I appreciate you fixing that, and I will go and update the review as well. So I'm like, bonus. So that I turned a 2-star into a 5-star, but I didn't really sweat over it either. I was going to do the fix anyway, and if she did not update the review, I wasn't going to worry about it because I have so many 5-star reviews that you're bound to get a couple bad ones. Now, this particular product had a couple, I would say 1 out of probably 50 reviews on it was a bad review, and the rest were all 5-star. So I'm like, that's weird. But it turns out like 1 out of 50, I don't care because the 49 good ones far outweigh the 1 bad one. But now I'm thinking that'll be 100% 5-star reviews because of what I did to fix the product. Anyway, also yesterday, what I noticed is Etsy ads are working really, really well on that old technique of mine, 20% per day for the last 7-day revenue number. It's working. So I don't mind. I will spend $1,000 a day on Etsy if I'm making more than $1,000 a day. Like if I'm profiting, I don't care. I'll give them the money and I'll take the profit and put it in my pocket. But when you're losing money on Etsy ads, that's when it's really hard to do that, and nobody wants to do that. So I think this new on this store, old technique that I've used in the past is working very well. So the other thing is, you know how you can go in and you can edit the actual listing to remove keywords from Etsy ads? I've done that in the past quite a bit, and I did it with this shop too on the whole shop bundle, and it tanked the bundle, and I was getting nothing. And anything, I was just spending money without sales. So what I did way back when, I think I talked about it in a past update too, I went and turned everything back on. What I've learned over the past like year or two with Etsy ads is they don't like you tinkering. And this is pretty much the same for any paid ad platform. Like Facebook doesn't like you tinkering. Google really doesn't like you tinkering. Nobody likes you tinkering. I don't even know why they give you those options to tinker. Pinterest ads, they don't like you tinkering. They just want to run it themselves. So knowing that, the only thing that I'm going to quote unquote tinker with is the budget every Monday. That's it. It's either going to go up or down or stay the same, depending on the revenue for the last 7 days. This simplified way to run Etsy ads is really good, and it's a technique that anybody can use. So if you're going to do anything, if you get anything to the 3 people that watch these videos, use that technique. It works well. I also added 10 new listings, and I'm going to add 10 today. So I'm up to 2,411 listings on the shop. It is, as you'll see in a second, it is profitable, which is nice, and the profits are picking up. So let's go to the stats for the last 7 days. We'll go custom and 24th to 30th. I think that's right. So we had 1,023 visits, 56 orders, 5.5% conversion rate. And look at that graph. I love that graph. I don't like that dip, but I love the visits seem to be going up. $132.25 in revenue. And people ask me in the past, like, what's the profit on that? Well, my whole shop bundle has a profit margin of 89%, and all the other listings have a profit margin of 45%. So I'm keeping the bulk of this, put it that way. So my profit is positive, even after my ads, which I'll show you in a second here too. Now this week too, Etsy brought in 64% of the visits because of the ads. I brought in 36%, but all of my stuff is starting to pick up here. I'm still running the social media, and it's just starting to click. It's just starting to be seen. I'll be posting the product when I post it to social media as well. All right, let's go to Etsy ads. Marketing, Etsy ads, and let's go to custom, and we'll pick the 24th to 30th, you'll see I spent $35.45, and I actually brought in a lot of revenue for that. Like, seeing that for the week, it really makes me want to jack up my ad spend, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be disciplined with this. I'm not going to make decisions that don't make sense. And you can see down on the bottom, I'm advertising 2,411 listings, all of them, at $9.84 a day. So if you want to see what my revenue was for the last 7 days, divide that by 0.2, and you can get it. So my revenue, which was, so go 9.84 divided by 0.2. The previous week, my revenue was just $49.20. This week, it was what, 130 some? It's gone more than doubled, which is awesome. And I think it's because of all the things that I've been doing this week that are just getting Etsy's attention. Everything seems to be flowing right, and knock on wood, it's going really well. So I'm happy with that. Now, let's go to the stats and let's look at the all-time number. See how this one's creeping up? All-time. We are at $2,243.99, 7.4% conversion rate, 1,421 orders. My actual sales though is 1751, I think. So sales means like somebody can buy multiple products when they make one order. An order is an order, but within the order you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and beyond products. So the sales number is always higher than the order number, especially because I am trying to encourage people to buy bundles and make their own bundle, basically. Now, visit-wise, I'm about to cross 20,000, 19,100, and I do like the numbers down here too. This is all-time, and you can see the all-time is matching up with what I did this week. So 64% Etsy's bringing, 36% I'm bringing. So the plan now for next week is pretty simple. I'm going to be continuing with the 20% thing right here. And because I'm at, I think it was 132 and it's only going up, my budget is going to increase dramatically. So it was $9.84. If it was today, which is not, I would be going from $9.40 or $9.84 up to $26.14, which is quite a dramatic increase. Like, I'm going to raise my budget 2.7 times, which I don't mind doing. Honestly, I think based on what's happened in the past with other shops too, the little ratchet up and the once a week thing instead of going in every day and tinkering with the budget doesn't work. So last thing I want to tell you is when you list something or when you do something on Etsy, it takes time for that to be indexed and update and get rolling. It's not instant. So when I make a change to maybe I have a product going really well and I want to change a title or something or test a new one or do a duplicate of a product, I find it takes a couple of days for that product to get some sales. So any changes you do on Etsy, it's not an instant thing. Like they have I think everything goes into a queue on their back end. And yeah, it will just be displayed as that, but for the organic traffic, it takes a while. And even for the ads, as soon as you make a change to anything, I think it resets a lot of stuff. And if you're making changes too often, you're not going to see any benefit to that. So it's almost like a lot of us love to tinker and we love to go in. And like I said, with that listing thing too, we love to go in and, let's remove that keyword because it's not getting any sales. And let's remove this product because it's spending more than it's making, and that's bad. Well, don't do that with Etsy ads. With Etsy ads, let them be. And even if you have products that are making sales but are losing money on ads, your overall shop will be doing far better. So you can see I had I think 14 sales came from orders, and the other 35 or so, whatever it was, came from organic. And your Etsy ads do help your organic sales. So I think when Etsy's displaying results when somebody types something in, I think one of the factors they're looking at is that shop running Etsy ads? And if it is, it's a bonus, and they'll give them a higher rank on the page. So I don't know. Anyway, bottom line, week 20, we are almost 6 months into this, and you might be thinking, "Wow, that is very little return for 6 months, man. You must be really upset with that." I'm not. Like I said, just to reiterate, Etsy is a long-term play. It's not short-term, get rich quick. No matter what any course or coaching program or person or consultant says to you, it takes a long time to make money on Etsy. It really does. You got to survive. The survivors thrive. That's the whole thing. So be a survivor, you're going to thrive. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of at least this, the 20% per day for your last 7 days revenue. If you have any questions on it, let me know. And we'll see you next week in the next update. Have a great day.